think you should pay everybody? Is it a reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts.
In the small village of Dalton, Illinois, an astonishing drama is unfolding. A political scandal so gripping that it feels like the plot of a high-stakes thriller. Yet, it is all too real. At the center of this controversy is Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who was once celebrated as a trailblazer for becoming the first female mayor of Dalton. Today, however, she finds herself embroiled in a devastating political firestorm. Initially hailed as a symbol of progress and resilience, Henyard's career has taken a dramatic nosedive amid allegations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and abuse of power. What makes this saga even more tragic are the layers of betrayal, scandal, and intrigue that have left both locals and outsiders questioning whether this is the end of Henyard's once promising political legacy. Accusations of embezzlement and unchecked autocratic tendencies have tarnished her reputation, with her leadership being scrutinized for its divisive impact on Dalton's community. Shockwaves reverberated through the town when Henyard's own romantic partner, in a stunning betrayal, testified against her in court. This revelation deepened public mistrust and fueled speculation about the extent of her alleged crimes. The unexpected courtroom twist has left onlookers wondering how much of Henyard's private life intersected with her political ambitions, and whether these intersections played a role in the corruption charges she now faces. The betrayal of her partner, once a trusted figure in her inner circle, has become emblematic of the fractures within her administration, exposing personal vulnerabilities that compound her professional challenges. Henyard, who once stood as a beacon of hope and ambition in Dalton, is now seen as a controversial symbol of unchecked ambition. Her story has left many debating whether she is a victim of political targeting or the architect of her own downfall. As more details emerge, it becomes increasingly clear that the issues plaguing her administration are both complex and damning. Reports of financial irregularities have sparked widespread outrage, with critics accusing her of prioritizing personal gain over the welfare of Dalton's citizens. Allegations of mismanaged funds, questionable contracts, and nepotism have overshadowed any successes she might have achieved. Her once loyal supporters are now deeply divided. Some defend her as a trailblazer unfairly vilified by a deeply entrenched political establishment, while others demand accountability and a thorough investigation into her alleged misconduct. Amid this chaos, Dalton's already fragile political landscape has grown even more volatile. Trust in leadership is at an all-time low, and calls for reform are growing louder. Adding to the drama are whispers of a broader power struggle within the town. Many speculate that Henyard's fall from grace may be driven as much by rival factions vying for control as by her personal actions. Some locals believe her downfall is being accelerated by political opponents eager to capitalize on the controversy, while others insist the evidence speaks for itself, painting a grim picture of a leader who lost sight of her responsibilities. The involvement of her former lover in the proceedings has only intensified the spectacle. Courtroom revelations have added fuel to the fire, further dividing the community into camps of loyalists and detractors. For some, the betrayal is the ultimate act of justice. For others, it is a calculated move in a deeply personal vendetta against the mayor. Henyard's journey from celebrated trailblazer to embattled mayor serves as a cautionary tale about the pressures and pitfalls of political leadership in small-town America. What began as an inspiring story of breaking barriers and championing change has devolved into a narrative of greed, betrayal, and unchecked power. The scandal raises broader questions about governance and accountability in Dalton, where the lines between personal ambition and public service seem increasingly blurred. Critics argue that Henyard's administration exemplifies the dangers of concentrating too much power in the hands of one individual without sufficient checks and balances. Meanwhile, her defenders suggest that the allegations may be part of a broader effort to discredit her historic achievements. With legal battles ahead, the courtroom drama and ongoing investigations promise to keep this scandal in the public eye, ensuring that Henyard's legacy remains a hotly debated topic. Meanwhile, Dalton finds itself at a crossroads, grappling not only with the immediate fallout of Henyard's controversies, but also with the larger challenge of rebuilding trust in its leadership. Residents are left wondering what the future holds for their town, and whether the lessons of this scandal will lead to meaningful reform or further division. As the story continues to unfold, One thing is certain. The drama surrounding Tiffany Henyard is far from over.
Inside I get from the United States District Court.
Imagine finding yourself in the position of Mayor Tiffany Henyard, once celebrated as a trailblazing leader and admired for breaking barriers, now standing in the limelight for all the wrong reasons. Having built a name and reputation as a symbol of progress, everything begins to unravel as serious accusations mount, threatening to undo everything you have worked for. The allegations are both damning and dramatic, focusing on unlawful appointments to critical positions in the village's administration, appointments that a judge later blocked. According to reports, Henyard attempted to appoint her own village attorney and police chief, bypassing established procedures and seemingly consolidating power in ways that critics argue crossed ethical and legal boundaries. Instead of yielding to the court's intervention, Henyard appeared to defy it, doubling down on her controversial actions and surrounding herself with individuals whom many believe were not suited to hold the roles she assigned them. In what some describe as an audacious act of political bravado, she allegedly operated as the village administrator without obtaining the necessary approval from the Board of Trustees, effectively sidelining the checks and balances designed to govern such decisions. It is almost as though Henyard dared the legal system to catch up with her actions, brazenly testing the limits of her authority. Her detractors argue that this behavior exemplifies a pattern of contempt, not just for the judiciary but for the broader principles of accountability and governance. To outsiders, her choices appear reckless, and the image of a leader who once embodied progress and empowerment now risks being replaced by one of hubris and disregard for democratic norms. The escalating scandal has left residents and observers deeply divided. Some see Henyard's defiance as the bold moves of a leader trying to assert control in a fragmented system. Others view it as a dangerous overreach of power, unbefitting someone in her position. At the heart of the controversy lies a critical question about leadership and integrity. What happens when the lines between ambition and governance blur? Henyard's supporters argue that her actions, while unorthodox, reflect the reality of navigating a deeply entrenched political system resistant to change. In their eyes, she is a reformer, fighting against the status quo and using bold, decisive measures to enact her vision for Dalton's future. However, her critics paint a starkly different picture, one of a mayor who sidesteps rules, disregards due process, and centralizes power at the expense of transparency and collaboration. These accusations of unlawful appointments and power grabs have marred her tenure, overshadowing her earlier accomplishments and leaving the community questioning her motives and judgment. The judge's intervention, intended to rein in Henyard's unchecked authority, has only fueled speculation about her leadership style. Rather than retreating or rethinking her strategies, Henyard's apparent doubling down has led to an increasingly adversarial relationship with the legal system and the Board of Trustees. This conflict raises deeper questions about accountability in Dalton's governance and whether the town's existing mechanisms are robust enough to hold its leadership in check. The alleged appointment of individuals unqualified or ill-suited for key positions has further amplified concerns about the prioritization of personal alliances over the public good, intensifying the scrutiny surrounding Henyard's administration. For the mayor herself, the stakes could not be higher. Once a rising star and a symbol of resilience, her reputation now hangs in the balance. The accusations have tarnished her image, casting shadows over her achievements and leaving many to wonder whether her defiance is a sign of unyielding determination or a troubling disregard for the very systems she was elected to uphold. It is a scenario few would envy. A leader who rose to prominence through ambition and vision now finds those same traits weaponized against her in the court of public opinion. The contrast between the trailblazer she once was and the embattled figure she has become is stark, underscoring the challenges of navigating power and responsibility in the political spotlight. As legal challenges mount and public confidence wavers, Dalton faces a moment of reckoning, not just for Henyard, but for its governance as a whole. The unfolding drama reveals the complexities of small-town politics, where personal relationships, power struggles, and legal battles often collide in ways that can reshape entire communities. Whether Henyard's actions are ultimately judged as a necessary push for progress or a dangerous overreach of power will depend on the outcome of ongoing investigations and judicial reviews. What is certain, however, is that this saga is far from over.